So this is the statue of Somoni. It was placed in 2011 instead of the statue of Lenin. They dismantled in 2009 the statue of Lenin, and many people gathered around the statue of the Lenin. They cried and they said, "Don't touch the statue of Lenin because it's the part of our history." And actually, can you see some birds? This is the stainless steel. It used to be the largest statue of Lenin in Central Asia, still. So, and it was placed in 1974 for the commemoration of the 50th anniversary of the death of Lenin, who ruled Soviet Union for 9 months officially. And after that, the Chinese bridge as a part of One Road, One Belt initiative, as a part of the M34. So now they are back to the region between two rivers, the region Mesopotamia of the Central Asia. So, and I'm going to give you the maps of Central Asia, the region which used to be the part of Achaemenid Empire, and also we can see here the mountainous part of the country, where we have Tajikistan, 1/3 arable land of the country. So, and also we can see the mulberry trees planted, and mulberry trees related with the Silk Road. The Sughd who ruled the Silk Road. And Chinese name of the Sogdian, I mentioned Sughd. Yes. Left side we can see the cotton field. So, and in Tajikistan, still Tajikistan annually producing 400,000 ton cotton a year, and in 2009 government adopted the conception about the food security, and after that they reduced the cotton production from 600,000 ton a year to 400,000 ton because of the global warming and climate changing. Our government decided to reduce and also for the lack of the water. For 1 kilo cotton during the 6 months, you need to spend 24,000 liters water. And in Tajikistan also, we are not using the machine for picking the cotton. It's all the hand picking. And for 1 kilo of the picked cotton, so the government paying to the farmers about 2 somoni. 2 somoni, it's about 30 cents for 1 kilo of the picked cotton, which is nothing. It's very cheap. The farmers complaining about the price of the cotton, they don't use the machine, because if they pick the cotton with a machine, the quality of the cotton is changing. That's why they always involve the farmers. And still in Tajikistan, 57% of the country's population working in field for farming. So, and because of the cheap labor force, they are always involving the countryside people, mainly silkworm. And Tajikistan producing the silkworm, and last year Tajikistan produced 280 tons of the silkworm, and they exported as a raw to China, to Vietnam. Tajikistan, and in Dushanbe we have the joint venture company for processing of the silk. So now we are going to take one
Pagka namin.
area. So on the left side we can see the fat-tailed sheep as a native sheep in Central Asia, the crossbreed sheep native to Hisar Valley of Tajikistan. Of the north, people now heading to the Shakhristan district to watch and also to play buskashi. In Kyrgyz, in Kazakhstan, they call buskashi kokburu. In Uzbekistan, ular. In Tajikistan, Afghanistan, and some part of Pakistan, people call it buskashi. Bus means the goat. Kashi means pulling or degrading the carcass of the dead goat. So, and in Tajikistan, the strong men riding the horses and they play individually. If they and after the carrying the goat from one point to another point, they're becoming the winner and they get the prize. Before the 8th century AD. So the statue of the she-wolf comes from the moon, which was depicted on inside of the palace of ruler of like the she-wolf feeding the two infants, and now original mural of the she-wolf located in Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg in Russia. During the Soviet time, Russia took a lot of artifacts, historical artifacts from Tajikistan by the proving of we don't have a good condition for such for keeping such beautiful artifacts. Now most of them located in the Hermitage Museum of St. Petersburg, Russia. So here we can see the beehives for honey, for the mountain honey, and along the road is the willow trees. side we can see the channels for irrigation. So it was the Soviet period style for irrigation of the Shakhristan. The Shahristan Nature Reserve, about 3,000 hectares. So, and it's the protected area because of the juniper trees. So, and in Tajikistan we have about 22 nature reserves and the national park. Tomorrow on the way to Uzbekistan border, on the way to Samarkand, we are going to visit the first UNESCO site of Tajikistan, Saraz, as a beginnings of the civilization in Central Asia. And the second UNESCO heritage site of Tajikistan is Tajik National Park, which is located in the High Pamirs in the east part of the country. It's about 2.6 million hectare, 18% of the country's territory. It's most of the nature reserve, the protected area, over 4,000 meters above the sea level, with 37 species. The area of the Fan Mountains area and the area of the Khujand, we have about 400 species. So the Turkestan range is the homeland of the snow leopard, brown bear, wild boar, wolves, foxes, marmots, and they have two spatial area for the birding, for the vultures, golden eagles, peregrine, bustard. And in all nature reserve and the national parks, hunting is banned. To build for us the tunnel for reducing of the travel time about 3 hours and for keeping the roads open all year around and especially in winter time. And Chinese started to build the tunnel in 2009 and completed the tunnel, construction of the tunnel in October 2012, and they reduce the travel time about 2.5–3 hours. And now the tunnel is open all year around, and of course Tajikistan situated on a seismic zone, and we have regular earthquake, and in 24 the earthquake damaged the main tunnel, and they closed the tunnel for 1 month for repairing. So about 1K left to get to the Chinese tunnel, and here straight ahead is the old road through the pass, which is officially closed, and here is the military unit close to Uzbek border. So the Chinese tunnel cost for Tajikistan $59 million. So, and it's about 5,252 meters long. on the height of 2,700, and the Tunnel of Love. On the way to Dushanbe we have one more tunnel which was built by the Iranian company, and on the right side is the top of the Shakhristan Pass. So the landscape going to change after the Chinese tunnel, and from 2000 end of the tunnel is the highest point, 2,740 meters, and we need to drive down about 1300 to get to the Golden Valley. Ladies and gentlemen, it was the highest point, end of the tunnel, 2,740 meters above the sea level, and after about 4k driving we make a quick photo stop to see the view of Fan Mountains, the view of the road we drive down, and now we are on the second valley of Tajikistan from the north, Golden Valley, Zeravshan, which means spreading of the gold. The ancient name of the valley is the Sughd Valley, or Sughd Valley, or Sughd River, and the Greek name is mountainous River. So now in distance we can see the view of the Golden Range, and on the right side, like on the road, people selling here dry fruits, honey, butter, and the dried cheese ball comes after the churning of the yogurt. It's like the dried fermented milk balls. People use it as a snack. This tunnel built on the avalanche zone area, and straight ahead up we can see the view of the Zeravshan range, and the highest point we can see from here is Khujand peak. Straight ahead up, Khujand is 4,882 meters above the sea level, and the highest point of Fan Mountains, 5,489 meters. On the way to Panjakent we are going to see Chimtarga peak, highest point of Zeravshan range. So the Zeravshan range runs from east to west, 370 kilometers long. Okay, group, let's move on. The comfy seats for heading up to the Seven Lakes area. So the squat or the eastern loop. And here we have arrived to the first village of the Golden Valley. And here we can see the beautiful geological formation of the rocks, like the layers. And we can see the view of the Golden River, which used to be the last tributary of Oxus River, but today river reach Bukhara city of Uzbekistan as a small stream. So this is Zeravshan River, strewing a gold, spreading of the gold. Meaning of the Zeravshan. It's about 877 kilometers long. The source of the river is Zeravshan Glacier. So, and the nickname of the river is Life Giver. Of Tajikistan from the north after Fergana Valley. Upstream of the river is like the Tajik part of Zeravshan Valley. So we call it the Valley of the Seven Bridges. So, but for today we are going to take 4 more bridges on the way to Panjakent. So from here, about 536 kilometers left to get to Dushanbe. The small one is 5 seats. So 100. Rocks on the other side of the Golden River.
See the river? So nice.
So along the river we are going to see the oasis villages. At the place where the people have water, they have a garden and village. So on the left side is the Zeravshan village, and we have arrived to the village where people still using the Zoroastrian tradition for the graves. So now we are passing by the cemetery on the right side, and they have the graves like a mausoleum with the doors. So it's the family graves. And now we are going to see 14th century active mosque. This Ivan, this portico, is the art of the sitting, like we have seen yesterday in inside of the fortress and also in the main mosque of Khujand. It's the same architecture for the fire temple before the 8th century, where people, when the people practiced Zoroastrianism. Sisters, and today in Tajikistan living about 25,000 Soghdians, and at home they are speaking in Soghdiani language as one of the part of the Eastern Iranian languages, and but since 9th century we are speaking in the Western Iranian language, which is so now we are out of the Dardar village. Dardar means double door. Yeah, you are going to visit, I'm sure, in Turkmenistan, Darvaza, which is the gate of the hell.
Look, look.
So it comes from the gate, from the door as well. So ahead of us we can see the truck for shipping of the coal from Tajikistan to Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan selling gas to China and buying coal from Tajikistan. And in Tajikistan, so ladies and gentlemen, now we have arrived to the area of the mountain wine, the area of the spring, where people, the travelers stops here for having some snacks, some dry fruits, cheese balls, and for having some drinks. This is the busiest part of. And from the Uyghurs, Mongols took the Soghdiani alphabet, and still today in Inner Mongolia, in Chinese part of Mongolia, they use like the Soghdiani base alphabet. straight ahead up, you can see the view of the Veshkant. So the Veshkan is the name of the village, which means before the city. The Kand is the Sogdiani name for the town, like Samarkand, but the Sogdiani name of Samarkand was Marokanda, means green city. So the name of the villages along the river on Tajik part of the valley comes from the Sogdiani language. So like the Veshkant, and then the next village as the largest village of Zeravshan Valley going to be Urumetan. Is the border, about 45 kilometers left to get to Panjakent and 40 kilometers to the place where we're changing our vehicles. Population of Panjakent is 330,000 inhabitants. 80% here Tajiks and 20% Uzbek living in Panjakent district. And Panjakent is the famous city of Tajikistan for the heritage of the Sogdians and the birthplace of the father of Persian literature, Rudaki, the Samanid period 9th to 10th century poet, musician who was born in 858 in Panjakent, and for 42 years he lived in Bukhara as a court poet, and he passed away in 941 in Panjakent. Rudaki was the first Persian poet who wrote in New Persian, in Farsi, with New Persian in Arabic inscription, and he's considered the father of the Persian literature, and the other Persian poet after him, following the style of Rudaki,